Did you ever wondered how plus, equal comparison, or square braces are coded in Python? Today, you will learn how to customize them using special methods. Stick until the end, and you will understand why they're also called magic methods. Hello, coders! Welcome to my channel. I'm David, your guide to mastering programming. Special methods are methods that start and end with double underscore and also have predefined behavior. They are also called magic methods or dunder methods, which is short for double underscore. But in the official Python documentation, they are referred to as special methods. They are separated in different groups, and I'll write an example for most of the groups. First group is object initialization group. In this group, there are three methods. First one is init, the second one is new, and the third one is del. I'll create a class and I'll name it number. First, I'll create my first special method init, which is used for initialization. Self.num will be equal to num. I want the number that I pass to be equal to that instance object num. Now, I want to create del special method. Del special method is short for delete, which is known in other languages as destructor, which means when the object is destroyed, this special method is called. It usually doesn't have any parameter. Print object is destroyed. Now, if I create an instance number and pass here 5, and for example, print n, now when I run this code, as you can see, something is printed, but because I didn't create a special method that will print this number the way I want, it's printed like this. But the important thing that I wanted to show you is that after this code, I never use them, and I reach the end of my code, which means the del special method is called. As you can see, an object is destroyed is printed. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. Thanks for your support. Second group is string representation group. It's used how you want your class, your object, to be represented as a string. I'll destroy this, I will remove this because I will have a lot of examples and I don't want to bug my output. For example, the special method that I want to show you is wrapper, which is short for representation. Here I want to return my number as a string. For example, return f, and here self.num. It's important that this wrapper must return a string. It can't return an integer type. So now here, if I call wrapper and pass n, it will print 5. As you can see, 5 is printed. Third group is comparison group. For example, maybe I want to compare my number to another number. If it's greater, if it's smaller, or is it equal, or greater or equal. The special method that I want to show you is equal. The name for equal is eq, and here it's usually you pass self and other, which means the other instance that you want to compare it to. And I will return self.num equal to other.num. This way I compare the value num from the first and from the second. I check if they are equal. If they are equal, this will return true. If they are not, this will return false. Here I will show you. I'll create another one, number, and it will have value 3. So print n equal m. As you can see, it says false because they're not the same. But if I write here 5, it says true because now both n and m have the same value 5. Since I created a class number, it's common sense that I want some arithmetic operations like addition or subtraction. So I can create that. This way I can't add these two, but if I create a special method, add, now I can create an addition. As you can see, it's also a common knowledge to name oneself and the other one other, so you know what they do. And now return self dot num plus other dot num. If I print here, print n plus m, I expect to see 10. As you can see, 10. Also, you can create your own container because there is a special group of special methods that's called container group. Because there is one special method called get item that can get you an item from your container. For example, I'll create my own container. I'll create it here and name it class my container. And here I'll create a special method get item. Oops, not get attribute, get item. And the convention is to call this second parameter index if you're going to use one, but I will use one. For example, then I will return index time. No, I will simply return the index, which means now if I create my, I don't know, cont to be some container, my container, and if I print cont, open the square braces and write 2, this will put this 2 inside this container. As you can see, 2 is printed because these square braces trigger this get item special method, and this 2 is passed as a second parameter, which means index becomes 2 and I return the index. Now I'll return to my number class. Also, maybe I want my number to be negated. I mean, maybe I want to create some negative number. In that case, I can use unary operation group. Unary operation group has an neg special method, which is short for negation or negative. As you can see, neg, and it usually gets just one parameter. I mean, not usually, always gets one parameter. Since it's unary, you can't have two objects. And here you need to return the class itself. I mean, not the class, but the instance of the class itself number. And here pass, for example, I'll pass minus self.num. This way, I create a new instance and return it with the negative value of the current one. So when I print here, print minus n, this should print me minus 5. Oops. As you can see, minus 5 is printed. I will comment this so it doesn't confuse you. Also, you can make your class callable. I mean, not your class, but your object of a certain class callable. So what I mean by that is I can create a function, I mean special method, call, and here I'll have just one parameter self. And I want, when I call this function, I want to print the value of my instance. For example, value of this instance is self.num. Now, what I mean by callable is you can write the name and open the parentheses. This way, now you can call this function. As you can see, it prints value of this instance is 5. But if I For example, call m, as you can see, it says value of this instance is also 5. Final group that I want to show you is attribute access group, which means how we can access the attributes of a certain class. As I have shown you before, you can simply write print and then n.num, and this way you access this num. But this dot has, when you write this dot, you actually call this special method called get attribute. The convention is to call this second parameter item and now return self dot item. As you can see, now when I print num, this will print me 5. How this works, when you write this dot, the name after this dot, for example, num, is passed to this item here. Now item has the value, I mean the name num, and when you call self.item, you actually called self.num. Since it exists here, as you can see, num exists, we print the value. But what if this didn't exist? For example, if I wrote n.abc. Now abc doesn't exist, so the Python returns an error. Like and subscribe for more coding content. See you in my next video. Until then, keep coding.